In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most curious soldiers of World War II, a Syrian brown bear by the name of Corporal Wojtek. Hello and welcome to Sir Yesterday, a show where we talk about cool history facts that shouldn't be forgotten. If that seems like your kind of channel, then be sure to hit that subscribe button because it's free and it helps us bring you more episodes in the future. But back to the show. Our story begins in Iran in the spring of 1942, with a young boy who was carrying a large sack came across a large group of Polish soldiers and civilians who had recently been released from Russia to join the war effort. While the soldiers were talking to the boy to make sure he was okay, they realized the bag was moving. Checking inside, turns out he had a baby bear with him, who had recently lost his mother to hunters. Feeling compassionate for both the boy and the bear, the soldiers offered the kid some food in exchange for taking the bear off of their hands, and they began nursing the bear back to health. Come August, he had to move along, and he was adopted by the Polish 22nd Artillery Supply Company, who gave him his name, Wojtek, meaning happy warrior in Polish. For the first while, they would travel through Iraq, Syria, Palestine, and Egypt, while not experiencing too much combat along the way, thankfully. This period was mostly able to be used for bonding amongst each other, where they would actually play wrestle with the bear, and share tents, and the bear actually even learned to march alongside the soldiers, even learning how to salute. He did pick up a few less than ideal habits too, like joining the soldiers for their morning coffees, drinking a few beers back with the boys from time to time, and even smoking. Or at least according to the soldiers, he'd get someone to light the cigarette, he'd then take a puff off of it and swallow it. It was during this time, actually, that a thief tried to break into camp in the middle of the night. Now, while he was sneaky enough to get by the soldiers, he couldn't hide from Wojtek, who sniffed him out in the middle of the night. And apparently, while charging towards the thief to see what was going on, the thief started hollering and crashing into stuff, and yeah, he was able to get caught rather quickly, thankfully. And if you thought that was unbelievable so far, well, we're just getting started. Finally, the men were called into some real action to serve alongside the British 8th Army in their Italian campaign. However, the transport ship didn't allow for pets. But that wasn't about to stop the soldiers, and they were actually able to get him a real serial number, paybook, and rank, thus enlisting him into the army, so he was no longer just a bear, he was a registered official Polish soldier. And with that little bit of legal shenanigans out of the way, and probably a very upset, disgruntled captain, later they were off to Italy. It was during the Battle of Monte Cassino that Wojtek truly distinguished himself. While the men were running back and forth to bring ammunition to the artillery shell, Wojtek noticed and wanted to help in some way, so he actually got up and started picking up the crates of ammunition and carrying them to the artillery. Now keep in mind, these artillery crates contained 4 shells, each one weighing 25 pounds. That's a 100-pound crate that he was lugging back and forth. And Wojtek actually managed to pick them up, walk them on his hind legs back and forth without dropping a single one. This amazed the 22nd Company so much that it actually became their official emblem, where they featured an image of a bear carrying an artillery shell with both hands. And it was featured on the company's flag, pins, and hood ornaments, and honestly anything you think would look nice with a bear carrying an artillery shell, they made one. After the war, the 22nd Company went to Scotland, where they were originally going to wait out until Poland was free, but history had other plans, sadly. So in 1947, he was brought to the Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland. He actually became quite the celebrity while he was in Scotland, as more people learned about his service and the things he did while in the military. He even featured on several children's shows and newscasts, and was the star of regular interviews. And apparently, his old company members would still come by to the zoo, jump the fence, and come in to share a smoke, wrestle, and have a beer with their old brother-in-arms, right up until his death in 1963. There's been many statues put up in honor of Wojtek all around the world, as he'll always be quite the important figure in our history. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I gotta say, I think Wojtek is the most interesting animal that has ever served in any battle alongside us. Let me know in the comments below if you think there's any other animals that served in wars that you think should get mentioned too. And as always, be sure to subscribe for more content, and I shall see you next time.